Welcome to day 8 of turning a pile of MDF into merry and bright. Hi everyone, welcome to day 8 of the Claushaus Dollhouse Project. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who saw my last video or have a really keen eye, you're probably spotting a decent chunk of progress in this clip, and I am super excited to show you all of that, and I will in just a moment. But for now, I would like to talk about the dreaded pantry door situation. I'm not going to say this has given me sleepless nights, it's not that deep, but for anybody who has come across a roadblock in their project, I'm sure you'll understand what I mean when you've kind of just had to put a pin in it and move on to a different part of the project so that you can actually start making progress and fall back in love with your doll's house before it all ends up on the firewood. Now, we're not at that stage, but in my last video, I mentioned that I was really unhappy with this door frame piece. I think I mentioned that. Yeah, and over the past week, I've just become even less happy with it. Now, I tried to make it better, but I think I was just absolutely delusional on Lemsip. And in fact, I think I made things worse. Anyway, basically this door frame doesn't properly sit within here anymore. I think when I've wallpapered it, the glue has warped the door frame a little. And the problem that I was having was this piece sat proud of this gap. So it wasn't quite sitting edge to edge, which was fine. I do want this piece to be removable, so I don't want it to be too flush, if that makes sense. It does need to be easily removable without pulling everything apart. But to try and mask how proud it was, I decided to add these wood strips, which I think was mistake number 1. They're way too chunky, they're way too thick, they just don't look right to my eye. And I was kind of hoping that they would look like beams, and well, they don't. They don't. It looks a bit silly to me. I did, before I put the flooring down, I did do another dummy build with the door and the door frame, just to see if there was some way that I could salvage this. But I've realised that my beloved door, which I've just noticed is damaged, we're not going to be using it anyway, so it doesn't matter, that's fine. I wonder where that piece has gone. But whichever place I put the door, wherever I, whoops, just knocked you, I'm so sorry. Wherever I place this, it's not letting enough light into the pantry. And with this piece here blocking any view into the pantry, you can't really see what's going on at the bottom. I have always wanted the pantry to be dark and cozy, but I still want you to be able to clearly see inside and see what's on the shelves. Another point was the window that was going in here above the door. It needs to be higher up. When this piece is in situ, you can't see the lantern, and then you also can't see what's really going on that top shelf. So yeah, I think it's a learning curve. Oh, and rookie error, I did not take into account the thickness of the flooring when I built this piece. So the whole thing doesn't fit in situ anymore anyway. So this is going to go in the bin, the door frame, the door, not the doll's house. But that's going to go in the bin, and we're going to have another bash at it, but at a later date. Current Shelby, past Shelby this past week, just has not had the brain power to take this on. So we will do that at a future date, at a future video. And I would really love any suggestions that you might have. If you've got any ideas of how I could improve this, what you would do perhaps, I would love to hear them. All suggestions welcome. I have even contemplated making this into an arch and having it fully open, but I'm not sure how that would look. I think I'm kind of married to the door idea, but happy to explore anything. If you've got any suggestions, please put them my way. In the meantime though, I'm absolutely itching to show you what I've been working on. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so past Shelby is currently working on the panels for the hallway or the staircase. That's right, folks. We are moving on to a different part of the project, which is so exciting. Although I am 100% convinced I have already cut these panels out at some point, but I think a previous version of Past Shelby has accidentally used these or has lost them. But it's fine, it's no bother. Luckily, I still had the cardboard templates from the dry builds that we did at the beginning of the project. If you are new here or if this is your first Claushaus video, first of all, welcome. But just so that you know, I am using 5mm foam board for all of the false internal walls within this doll's house. It's very easy to cut with a regular craft blade, as you can see, that's what I'm doing right now. And you can also pick it up really cheaply from places such as Amazon or any good craft store. Anyway, you guys don't need to listen to me waffling on for the next 10 minutes, so I'm going to hand over to some lovely piano music. Enjoy the progress, and I'll catch you soon. that's all for today, folks. Thank you so much for joining me for day 8 of the Claushaus Dollhouse Project. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Before I go, I'd also really like to know if any of you are working on your own Christmas Dollhouse projects. If you are, please tell me all about them in the comments below. I'd love to hear all about them. Anyway, take care everyone. See you next week. Bye.